Hey everybody, welcome to the video. It's Andrew Ainsworth here. Really nice to be along presenting the video today, and thanks for spending your time watching my video. Exciting time of year here in the UK. It's in the middle of January, freezing cold, but the good news is all the new products are starting to arrive. And today we're going to focus on the new Cobra driver, which is called Dark Speed. Dark Speed. Sounds like a TV sort of movie, doesn't it? Or a series, Dark Speed. Anyway, before we talk about the new driver, we just got to go back and talk about the driver that it's replacing, which was called the Aerojet. Now, this is my own personal experience. Other golfers out there may have had a wonderful time with the Aerojet. For me personally, as a fitter, it just didn't work. It was almost like Cobra had done too good a job on producing a driver that spun really low. And with all these drivers, you normally get three heads. You get a low spin, you get one that sits in the middle, which is called the X, and the Dark Speed, and then you get the Max. And the Max one is the one with the bit of a draw bias, bit of weight in the heel, high MOI, moment of inertia to get the ball launched. But the Aerojet just didn't work for a lot of golfers. It's almost like you needed to have a lot of club speed to get the driver launched and to get it going up in the air and get the right spin and launch numbers. So it kind of crashed and burned for me big time, the Aerojet. Didn't sell that many of them. Had to kind of like dump the stock at the end of the year and sell it off. So it was a bit of a nightmare. So I was very hesitant when my Cobra rep came in and said, you know, I was almost thinking about dropping Cobra for this year, because I'd had such a bad experience with it in 2023. But my rep assured me that this new Dark Speed driver was a totally different animal. So I trusted him implicitly, and it really is. It's such a good driver. We'll just give you a very quick overview on it. I'm not going to bore you with all the techie spec because it's all on the website. And if you want to find out, you know, just go and have a look for yourself. But what we've got, if we just sort of flick back here and just find out a little bit more about it, we go into the drivers. As always, we've got the three models. We've got the LS, the low spin version, generalizing a little bit, but tends to work better for golfers with high club speed who are producing a little bit too much backspin. And the way they've designed that is they put weight sort of forward in the head so that the ball doesn't launch as high with as much spin. We've got the one that sits in the middle, which is called the Dark Speed X. Kind of does a little bit of everything. You can see the weight points here are in the middle, so fairly neutral weight bias. And then we've got the Dark Speed Max, which is their most forgiving driver, and the weight port here is in the heel so that it has more of a draw bias. Ladies version, of course, and then we've got all the fairway woods, which we'll probably do in hybrids in a different review. So without further ado, we're going to grab ourselves, I think I'll test with the X, I think we'll go with, the one that sits in the middle today. And we'll build a driver and we'll tell you a little bit more about it and we'll hit it, and hopefully you'll see some numbers which are certainly a big improvement on what the Aerojet. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I've got the Cobra Dark Speed driver in my hand. I've gone with the X model, as I said a minute ago, which is the one that sits in the middle. Have a little look at the overhead on this. This is very un-Cobra-like, what they've done. Normally, Cobra like to make a little bit of a statement, shall we say, with some of their clubs in terms of the colours that they use. In the past, they've done some very bright colours, orange heads, blue heads, if you remember the Cell driver. But this one, completely different, very, very stealthy. We've got this matte black finish. We've got a little alignment mark on the top there, which is just a black Cobra logo. So nothing blingy, no sort of loud lipstick around the back of the club. The design is obviously a mix of carbon and titanium, a bit like they've been doing for the last few years, but just looks very, very stealthy and yeah, attractive. You know, certainly not shouty or blingy. Just lots of shaft options that you can use. I've just got one of their stock shafts in here in stiff at the moment. 45.5 inches long in stock, but you can have it custom fitted, and say loads of shaft options and grip options available. Got this set to 10.5, all standard setup, no draw bias on it. We're on GC2 here. We're using Mizuno balls today, so Let's have a little hit. Have a look at the overhead from behind the ball. It does take a little bit of getting used to because there's actually no alignment mark really that visible, but I quite like it. Let's hit a couple. Okay, a little bit high toe. Saturday morning, folks, about 8 o'clock. So, still half asleep, to be honest. Warming up. Here we go. Okay, not 100% straight, that one, but we'll take it. It's a fairway finder, as they say. So we'll have a quick look at some of the stats here. 101 club speed, giving me a 136 ball speed. Launching at 15. Spinning at 1800 revs, just over. 233 carry. Running out to predicted 261. So not the hugest of hits, but very, very playable. So when I was testing this yesterday when it first came in, the biggest difference I noticed between this and the Aerojet was the forgiveness. You know, you could kind of get away with some off-center hits with this, which you just didn't get much out of on the Aerojet. Slightly better hit, but turned it over. I'll bring this T-peg up, actually. Not getting much launch on this. That was out the toe. Look at the backspin on that one. That was just a bad golf swing. Nothing wrong with the club. Okay, that was better. That was a lot better. Warming up a little bit. So, club head speed up to 103, giving me a 140 ball speed, which is pretty good. 15.2 launch angle, spinning at 2.2, giving me a 240 carry. This hole plays ever so slightly uphill with a predicted run out of 266. So I'm 60 years old in a couple of weeks' time. You know, birthday cards will be expected. So, you know, 60-year-old, not as young and as fit as I used to be. Still can get the club speed up around about that 100, 105 mark. That's about the max I would expect out of any driver, I think, from carry. I think if I really, really nailed one and I played around with the sort of settings and maybe some different driver shafts, I could probably max out my carry distance to 250, but that would take a really good swing. So 240 through the air for me these days is more than happy with that. This, folks, is a very, very good driver. It ticks all the boxes for me. It's forgiving. It's got lots of adjustability. You've got the 3 different models to suit all types of golfers. But the added bonus is the price. So over here in the UK, this is going to retail at somewhere around £429, which is still a lot of money. But you look at what all the other drivers are coming in this year at. You know, Ping G430, still my #1 driver here, and this is the one that this has got to compete with. You're looking at about $469 for a G430, and then the new TaylorMades and Callaway drivers, I think, I don't retail them, you're probably up closer to £500 for those, and there are lots of other drivers on the market over £500. So I think Cobra have been very clever on how they've pitched this price-wise to sit, you know, that £40, £50, £60, £70 underneath the really big boys to try and get people to try it. And if they try it and get fitted for it, there's a very good chance they might buy it. So I think, fingers crossed, the Dark Speed is going to be quite a success story for Cobra this year. I've already seen a few videos from people like Rick Shields and people like that, and everyone's kind of saying what a good driver it is, you know, high ball speed, forgiving, good value for money, looks great. So yeah, it's the Cobra Dark Speed driver. That was in the X. We'll do some more videos for you looking at the Max, and I promise I'll do some videos where I swing the club a little bit slower so I can give you guys and girls who are swinging maybe a driver at 85 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, an idea of what numbers you can expect from that. Really enjoyed hitting it. Thanks for watching the video today. I'll be back soon. My name's Andrew Ainsworth. All the best. Bye for now.